Please enjoy the video. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.
I remember one time I was traveling through New Mexico and I stopped at Fort Sumner. For those of you who don't know the history, that is where the museum and gravesite of Henry McCarty, William H. Bonney, or Henry Atram is located. Better known in dime store novels as Billy the Kid. He was rarely called by that name by those who knew him best, being more commonly referred to as the Kid or El Chavato, which is Spanish for the kid. Now you're probably wondering where I'm going with this story. Well, a day after the kid was shot and killed by Pat Garrett, Sheriff Pat Garrett at the time, he was buried at Fort Sumner with his friends Tom O'Florid and Charlie Beaudry. Pat Garrett actually once rode with the kid as an outlaw until he took the job as sheriff to track him down. So much for their friendship. After the kid's death, the single word epitaph of pals appeared on the tombstone. As I looked at the word pals when I stood over the grave, many thoughts went through my head. Now, whether you believe Billy the Kid was a vicious outlaw and murderer, or a victim caught up in the Lincoln County wars fighting corruption after the murder of his boss, Henry Tunstall, is up to you. It was probably a little of both and set in a very turbulent time in our history. So let's get back to the word pals. Pals had a meaning of close friends back in the day, and as you get older, you take account of how many close friends you have in your life. I'm not talking about family. Like the old saying goes, you cannot choose your family, but you can choose your friends. I remember a patch I saw on a motorcycle vest which read, "A friend will help you move, but a close friend will help you move a body." Now, before you start freaking out, I'm not advocating any law breaking or violence here, but the meaning was clear. Sit back and think for a moment how many close friends you have in your life. I'm not talking about acquaintances or followers on Facebook or Instagram. I'm talking about friends that were there for you when you needed them the most, or would be there now if you called them. Friends you can trust with your feelings and emotions. Friends that had your back when the proverbial crap hit the fan and would be there now if you needed them. Sometimes I don't think friendship is what it used to be long ago. It seems that true friends are harder to find and harder to hang on to, and I sure hope I'm wrong. This is especially accurate in the modern political environment. Friendships have been lost or abandoned because of different opinions, views, or even political beliefs. I've heard about families setting up two tables at Thanksgiving dinner, one for the Republicans and one for the Democrats, to avoid any fights. It's also gotten out of control on Facebook and YouTube because people can hide behind their computers or their cell phones and sling propaganda, whether it's true or false, and lifetime friends are blocked and thrown away like yesterday's garbage. It makes me wonder if they were ever really your friends at all. Over the years, I found many of my closest friends and I have shared a love of music, motorcycles, our jobs, or serving in the military. Sometimes there may be a difference of opinion about certain issues, but we drop the subject for more important things in life. If we can't communicate in a civilized manner and discuss topics without imploding, maybe we are already lost. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a certain group of friends. These friends are the motorcycle riders I've had the pleasure of sharing the road with and forming a lifetime bond that will never end. This doesn't diminish the importance of my other friends I have had, and are just as valuable to me, but one group at a time. I've been riding motorcycles since 1975. That's a lot longer than many of you have been around. It's been quite a journey, and I hope it continues for many more years. If there was one word I had to describe my motorcycle pals, it would be loyalty. Trying to explain this concept and camaraderie of motorcycling to non-riders can be difficult at times. They see all the negative things in movies and on television, and strangers imagine most riders fall into some sort of criminal element category. We are not all the Sons of Anarchy, but I did love that show. They don't see inside the rides for the veterans, the wounded warriors, Toys for Tots, St. Jude Children's Hospital benefits, Bikers Against Bullies, church events, or the hundreds of other charities which motorcyclists are involved. Another thing I want to mention here is that there was never any discrimination with my close motorcycle friends. It didn't matter about the kind of bike you ride, just that you were riding. We didn't care about whether you were male, female, your race, religion, sexual orientation, or political views. These issues were unimportant. If we could only get past these factors now in our modern society, we would be much better off as a people. One of my closest friends and I have been riding together since 1988. We've traveled through many states together, slept in tents, and was once refused service at a restaurant because they didn't like motorcycle riders. One of our best trips together took us from my house in Texas to Colorado, where we rode up Pikes Peak with another group of friends we met there. On the way back, we rode through New Mexico and landed at Maggie's Diner, famous in the movie The Wild Hogs, before continuing our journey. When I lived in Pennsylvania, I rode with a core group of riders that I called the Pennsylvania 10. We had ridden in events, charities, camped out just to get away from civilization, and ridden both locally and long distances. In fact, some of these group members were the first ones I traveled with to the Vietnam Memorial Rolling Thunder Run in Washington, D.C. There were a lot more riders I knew, but this was my family group. When I lived in Louisiana, I met another core group of friends that we used to ride with. For about 5 years, we rode together around the area and became more like family. This included an iron butt ride, doing 1,000 miles in 24 hours, numerous charities and out-of-state events, including a ride to the St. Jude Children's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, to present them with a donation check of $20,000 that we had collected from riders in the area. As we all transferred to different parts of the country, we never lost touch. Each year we would plan a yearly reunion somewhere in the U.S. and we would ride our motorcycles to meet there at that location. We would come together not only to ride our bikes through new areas of the country, but to hold sacred the bond we had established throughout the years. After my transfer to Texas, I even added more to the group, and they became part of this yearly reunion event. As I look back on all the miles and the places I've seen in my life, I ask myself, what makes a ride something to remember? Is it the journey or is it the destination? Sometimes I think it's a combination of them both. But there's one undeniable truth, and that is without people sharing these special moments in your life, it somehow diminishes the full effect of its impact. That's also what makes motorcycle riders so special. They dare to enjoy, in their own way, God's special gift to us, life. So, to all my riding friends over the years, and for those of you who have gone too soon from this life, I say a special thank you for making my life better. And I leave you with this one word that sums it up nicely: pals.